Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tucker's Early Purple, the lavender equivalent of a guy who shows up to the party before the host and says, "Oh good, you're still setting up."
You look like you enjoy being early and judging others that aren't. Relax, Tucker, we get it. You bloom early. There's no need to flex.
Tucker's Early Purple comes from England, which means it enjoys cool weather, polite rain, and quietly judging other plants. Legend has it Tucker wasn't a botanist, a farmer, or even a lavender enthusiast. He was let's say, overly ambitious with a watering can. One spring, Tucker decided he'd grow the perfect purple lavender. But being Tucker, he accidentally planted a whole row of seedlings a bit too early, weeks before everyone else dared. When the neighbors saw his patch blooming before theirs, they asked, "What on earth is that?" Tucker shrugged and said, "It's early, and purple, and mine." Somehow the name stuck. Tucker's Early Purple. Some say Tucker's secret to early blooming was a mix of stubbornness, caffeine, and talking to the plants like they were his coworkers. Whatever it was, the lavender listened, and now it carries his name, early and proud.
This lavender grows earlier than most all other English lavenders. Great for if you're impatient, or if your customers say, "Is this thing blooming yet?" It's already blooming, Karen. So Tucker's Early Purple is a lavendin hybrid, which means it's bigger, tougher, and produces more blooms than typical English lavenders. But it's picky. It's picky in the same manner that a house cat is picky. It's really like the CrossFit guy of lavender. So because this variety blooms earlier than most other lavenders, that's good for making money. Because early blooms mean early cash, and early cash means cash flow before everybody else wakes up. If you're wanting to start a business in lavender propagating, it's always good to have an early, a mid, and a late bloom variety. That way you can spread your cash flow out depending on what you're selling over a longer period of time. So for the early bird, I would check into Tucker's Early Purple. And it's really easy to grow. It's drought resistant, deer resistant, and sometimes or usually thrives in poor soil, like a lot of lavender varieties do. As long as, number one, good drainage. Do not have wet feet, says the lavender. Make sure it has full sun, at least 6 to 8 hours. So less sun means less flowers, and ultimately this variety will be disappointed in you. So raised beds, sandy soil, and a slope are your friends with this variety. And remember to prune Tucker after the bloom, so keep it compact and productive. This is not violence, it's leadership. So now let's go through the process of turning purple flowers into green money. First of all, you want to sell bundles. Fresh bunches of this bad boy sell fast because they're early. Very unique. Look at selling at farmers markets or roadside stands, maybe even market to a florist or photo shoots, even photo shoots. Then you move on to dried bundles after they've been harvested, hung up like these. You can sell dried bundles. Look at Etsy. Look at, again, farmers markets, they will fly off the shelves. And the good thing is you can sell dried bundles year round. It's not just in the spring right after the bloom. You can sell them a year later. Perhaps you could sell them to people around Christmas time for wreath making. I've actually seen it where people are selling on Etsy. They're selling dried bundles to put in their showers upside down, to where the moisture, the hot moisture, opens up all their pores when it's mixed with the lavender. So that's a good outlet too. Also, wedding planners, they would want to buy dried bundles. Then we move on to the lavender oil, the essential oil, which is the lavender juice. And one smell of that and people suddenly forget their problems. You can sell it as essential oils, hydrosols, linen sprays, soaps, candles. Those all would go into the third step of the process. And then lastly, you could sell plants just like this, of that size. That'd probably go for about $6, $5.95 or so. So if you can propagate legally and sell plants, you've essentially unlocked recurring income in the lavender business. This is a good starting one because, again, they'll be ready early. So Tucker's Early Purple is perfect if you want to start your operation small and scale it. You want to sell multiple product types. And if you want to avoid messy, dramatic plants, you are low maintenance and profitable. I respect that. Just don't let it know you're impressed, because it already knows. So if you want a lavender variety that blooms early, makes money, behaves politely, then Tucker's Early Purple may be your guy. Remember that you can literally market this as the first lavender in the season, because let's be honest, people love being first.